The way QuantInsti technical team has gone with Python education or teaching candidates Python was phenomenal. Like they starts with very basic. Like if I have to teach somebody a programming language, that's how I will teach. If I teach my son a programming language like Python, that's exactly how I will teach. It starts with very basics and then goes into object-oriented concepts, and they tell you exactly what you need to use, and it's up to you. Like to write strategy, this is what you need. But if you want to learn Python more, it's open world. You can go anywhere from here. My name is Praveen. I graduated in 2004 from a college in Pune, College Army Institute of Technology. I come from an army background. My father was in army. So after graduation, I worked in Pune and Bangalore for about three and a half years, and then I came to Japan in 2008. Um, since then, I'm based in Japan, and I was working with the investment bank, and I comes from a development background. So over the years, I helped organization where I was working with the developments of connectivity, market connectivity. And over the years, my role was increased, and I took over the whole electronic trading connectivity stack. So I come from a IT background, and I had a lot of interest in basically electronic trading and the strategy writing aspect. And hence I saw the QuantInsti, which was a unique organization offering the algorithmic trading, which haven't seen anywhere else. So I was very intrigued. I did some research, and I made a decision that I think I can definitely benefit from the experience shared by the industry specialists who actually work in algorithmic trading. That's a short introduction about myself. I did my graduation in electronics trading, electronics and telecommunication, right? And my special interest when I was in college was doing the microcontrollers and making robotics, and I joined various IIT Tech Fest as well, where me and my team made some robots and we won some prizes there as well. So I wanted to go into that domain. But then our polo was in Pune, and then there was only two companies who used to come to our campus to hire us for robotics. And fortunately, that year, only one of them came, and I got selected in that. However, when we joined, I remember I joined that company. I was treated as, of course, it was started as, I started as a new grad, right? And when you join the organization, you are treated as a fresher, and the responsibility which was assigned to me then on a given project made me feel like my technical skills are not getting utilized. And I started feeling a bit frustrated. Maybe that was maybe the youth age or whatever. I had my expectation or my dreams didn't allow, made me feel frustrated, and I thought that this is not what I want to do. Then within joining that organization for 3 months, I resigned, and for a couple of months I tried to look for organizations who work on robotics. Unfortunately, they were not hiring that point of time, and I had some pressure from my family to look for other opportunities as well. So I had this curiosity of I wanted to learn more, and I didn't want to join a bigger organization. I wanted to join some startup where I can be exposed more. So I joined a startup company in Pune, and that's where I worked for 3 years, and that's where I was exposed to finance. So our organization had a client called CLSA, and they are still prominent broker in the street. And we started doing deliveries. I started involved into doing developments for applications which were involved in trading, and that's where I was exposed to finance world. And I something clicked, right? I got connected to finance. It made me very curious how things work, how stock exchanges work, what is buy trade, sell trade, what are the phenomena, how people make money, etc. So all these curiosity, I started reading a lot of books. I started talking to my mentors in the company, and that's where I was exposed, and the rest is history. So I gave up my robotics ambition and then wanted to become a financial specialist where to start with I can help writing smart applications which can help us make money off for the various organizations want to use it. In short, like I think I just as soon as I was exposed there to financial domain, something clicked and I just connected there. So this was in Deutsche Bank. So after initial 3 years in the startup firm, I joined Deutsche Bank in Japan, and I joined as a client connectivity engineer. Right, my responsibility was to provide client connections who wants to trade with our organization. My role increased. I was given responsibility of market connectivity for Japan as well, and this was in equities. So within the stack, as you would know, it sits this brain called as algos, and like other firms, our firms were also offering algos for the clients to trade. And this was a black box to me to start with, right? And people talk about algos, various schemes like this client wants VWAP, this client wants city wall, this client wants close strategy. So these terms make me curious. What are these, and what does they actually mean? And when I tried to talk to my mentors within the IT organization, I came to find out that there is a special group. They're called Quant Group. They sit with our business and they design the strategies. So how does this work? IT has no exposure, or IT has no view. What we provide a framework. I'm talking a bit technical in terms of development point of view. Let me know if it make any sense. I will stop or make it short.
Okay,
Let
no
me
worries.
explain this. So we provide, as IT organization, we are providing a framework where these brains can sit, and when the trade comes in, we forward these client trades to the algorithms, and they do their tricks to execute this order smartly so that the best efficiency is achieved for that particular trade. Now, I was curious what's going on in that brain. I had some idea, but since it was not in my design, I started reading books. I started trying to understand what's going on inside. What does a VWAP trade means? What does it actually do? And then, but since it was not in design, I was a bit busy and I couldn't spend a lot of time understanding that. But as soon as I was made responsible for whole electronic trading, then it becomes a necessity for me to know, because otherwise I won't be able to perform my jobs properly. My understanding was increasing regarding the algorithmic strategies. However, I was not satisfied. I felt that I'm not in control. I don't understand this properly, and I wanted to understand this in depth. And that's where the QuantInsti came in, right? And there was actually, if I have to precisely mention why I decided to learn more about algorithm trading was threefold, right? Number one was I wanted to perform my job as a specialist. Number two is I know the quant guys, they write the strategies because they understand the strategy and hence they earn more as well. I wanted to earn more as well. Third was the demand of QuantInsti guys in the market was very high, and if you want to switch the jobs, you are well respected, and if you are writing smart strategies, then the, the brokers on the streets will like you, and then probably be hired there comfortably. And I would say one more point, because I had something in my mind as that at certain stage I want to start my own trading as well. Being it a longer term plan was since I am with a financial organization, especially in Japan, and we are not allowed to trade directly to the exchanges. There is a whole lot of approval process. But cryptos came in, and cryptos are exception to that policy. So I wanted to learn and use that and see whether with that learning and with my understanding, can I make money? And that was I would say fourth reason, which I wanted to join QuantInsti. I started doing research. As you said earlier, there is no organization specific is dedicated to algorithmic trading. QuantInsti is very unique in that way, and And it's not like the faculty is basically, these are the experts, right, who do this in and out, day and out. So learning from them would be very, very beneficial, in the sense like you'll learn the lingo, you learn the language, you learn the understanding as well of various strategies. So it's not only knowledge about strategy. I can buy a book and try to read over and over again, and eventually I will get it. However, having that uh, coming it from the specialists, the experts, was, I think, game changing for me. Like I said, I did some research, right, and I found, like I said briefly earlier as well, QuantInsti I found is very unique. They focus straight away on the algorithmic trading, but I wanted to understand what is the minimum requirements before I joined this organization. In that sense, QuantInsti have this primer, right? Before you join, you have to go through the primers, and to make it kind of mandatory, um, they evaluate based on the primers as well. So that helped me in the sense like I could understand what they're looking for. So to start with, the market microstructures, not in details, but brief overview of microstructures, and then we talk about statistics. If you want to specialize in options trading, there are options. If you want to start with, if you have interest in machine learning and artificial intelligence, there is a panel for that as well. So going through that, I understood that. I guess the whole course as a black box to me then. It needs these skills, and it gives provides the candidates opportunity to specialize in various fields as per their interest. And my interest at that point of time was cryptos, and I come from equities background, so I had interest in equities as well. To be honest, I had then no interest in options trading at all. So what helped me was talking to the faculty before the start of the course, and they were very clear in the sense like what is required from you before you join. Programming was not a problem with me because I come from a programming background. Although they mentioned most of the stuff is done in Python, and I was not very comfortable with Python. So I said, yeah, that's fine. It's just a language. I can easily adapt to it coming from the programming background. I think the biggest challenge I had was statistics, right? Because we use statistics very, very heavily in algorithmic trading. And and it's the education system, right? Statistics in our courses when I was doing was, if I remember, 2 or 3 chapters. That's about it. And those questions were like, just remember them or put the formula and write the answers and get passed. So that's about it. And we never went into statistics very deep. And that too was very, very. For me, it was, I learned those statistics phenomena, statistics numerologies, or you can say these skills, long back. It was almost 18, 19 years back. So statistics was a challenge. So but I was one thing was I wanted to learn this, right? There was no uh, stuff backwards, so I took this as a challenge, and they helped me. What should I learn? The faculty told me that this is exactly what you want to start with, and then depending upon what you want to do, you can specialize in various streams of statistics. So exactly that happened. I started with primer, and then they helped me suggest some books. That these are books which will help you in algorithmic trading. I've gone through them, and as the course progressed, and like I said, like faculty mentioned that depending upon what specialization I want to do in this area, they had recommendations um, and completely overview of how I can achieve this. These are the books I should read if you have any problem. And then I should mention this here that the faculty and support staff is amazing, right? At any point of time we have any confusion, I haven't seen a single case where my questions were not answered. Faculty or support were hesitant to answer my question, or there was delays and I had to do vertical follow-up. No, I think, and that helps. Right? If I'm curious about learning something, if I'm getting the answer straight away, that helps me move forward easily instead of getting stuck. So that was very, very positive and plus. And I want to thank QuantInsti for having such level of support and ability to understand, who are understanding the mindset of a candidate and helping them accordingly. I would say QuantInsti is, it helps you start, and where you end is up to you. And I would say it's they have shown me a light in the tunnel, and it's up to me where I can go from here. And I have started a small desk up for myself, and I'm doing crypto trading. Since I am working for financial agent, like I said, I cannot trade equities. There is a whole lot of commissioning and approvals required, which doesn't really work with algorithmic trading. So I'm using cryptos and I'm trading there. So the candidates who joined QuantInsti, they come from various backgrounds. I was from IT, but somebody is coming from trading background, somebody is coming from economics background, people are coming from some other non-technical background. And for them to use Python could be challenging, because then someone who has never done the programming, they would feel, if you give them a logic and ask them like write this strategy using Python, it would be difficult to start with. But the way QuantInsti technical team has has gone with Python education, or teaching candidates Python, was phenomenal. Like they starts with very basic. Like if I have to teach somebody a programming language, that's how I will teach. Like if I teach my son programming language like Python, that's exactly how I will teach. It starts with very, very basics, goes into depth, and then goes into object-oriented concepts, and they tell you exactly what you need to use. And it's up to you. Like, yeah, to write strategy, this is what you need. But if you want to learn Python more, it's open world. You can go anywhere from here. So it enabled. I was interacting with few people in the candidates who didn't know Python, but I saw them. They started writing programs, and the homeworks, the extra classes, and the general programs which were coming in the homework, like I mentioned, that helped enable people to start writing them. And I think for me, like I said, it was a bit of advantage, but I started practicing Python more. I started understanding Python more based on the inputs which were provided to me by QuantInsti faculty. The books, the links, the libraries which should be custom to for the algorithm trading more precisely. So yeah, we were putting effort, I think, and we were getting the knowledge. But I think the most important thing was direction, where QuantInsti paid very, very phenomenal role. So Python was for non-technical, but I come from technical, and my challenge was understanding the strategies, right? And for me, they started with Excel. I remember my first class was writing a VBAP using an Excel sheet. So they assumed I don't understand anything about VBAP, and they showed us exactly what VBAP is, what's supposed to mean, and how do you calculate the profits, and how you calculate the various aspects of a given strategy. So yeah, I mean, Python was one part, but I completely agree with you. I think QuantInsti faculty has this vision in mind that not everybody will be coming from a background we expect. I think in that term, they have done phenomenal job. The bigger plan is I want to move from the IT organization and join at least on the business side or quant side, where I get involved into writing strategy, because I think I can add a lot of value. I can add a lot of values now after doing this course, and that's the immediate career change plan. Longer term plan is I would like to set up probably a bigger desk, and depending upon my success on that desk, maybe. I want to expand this to not only cryptos but to equities market as well. So I will have to, at certain stage, I will have to decide for myself whether I want to work for an organization or start working for myself, where I can trade any market I want. I will not have any restrictions on myself. So that's the bigger plan. That before I go there, there are a lot of learnings to be done, and a lot of things needs to be sorted out. Well, technology is everything, right? Technology enables what you want, the traders want to achieve. For example, just to give you an example, there was a time where um, there was concept of high-test trading, where there were specialized traders and client will send those orders, and they are valued how efficiently they trade they can execute that trade. And they were highly skilled people in terms of how they understand markets and how can they manipulate the trades so that they can achieve best for their client. But if you look at these days, even those I haven't seen. So I think 95% of time I've seen those traders after receiving the orders, they just put them into algos to do what let algo decide what is the best for that particular trade to achieve. Now, what is best, how best efficiency can be achieved. So instead of using their minds, I wouldn't say they are not using their minds at all, but all those difficult calculation in their minds are what made those traders very, very special. Most of the responsibility is taken by algos now. So, like I said, 95% of time they just put the order into algos and algos sort what they will want to achieve, and that enabled them to take more, serve more clients and more volumes. Had not been the case, then they had to monitor the trades, they had to see the trade, they had to manipulate the trade if they have to intervene the trade if the situation is against them. But those things are now handled by algos. So that enabled them this. So it's one of the example that's the example of how technology enabled business users to serve their client more efficiently, and not only clients, but enable the broker side organization to take more volumes and be more profitable. So and as the technology increases, the markets are getting more competitive and competitive and that makes the firms to be more creative, and that's where the innovation comes. So, and all these innovations are from technology. I think those days are gone where a best trade is executed because it was executed by a best trader. I think now a trade is best executed by best algos, and those algos are coming from technology stack. Those algos are coming from smart thinking logics which are implemented in technology, and technology enables them to implement them in the best possible way. So that's my thought process. I mean, that's my view is about technology. In my opinion, technology is everything. It enables your business. There are two aspects, right? One is how smart you are, and second is how fast you are. And both is governed by technology. The world is changing, right? I mean, not laid back. The collocations were introduced. There were no collocations, at least when I started. The hijack firms, they want to sit in collocation. They want to save every nanosecond to the market. And I remember when there was one client, I cannot mention the client name, but we were running with the wires like, can I cut short the length of wire by, let's say, a few millimeters, few centimeters? So those are in short, what I'm trying to say is people are getting competitive. They understand the requirement of being fast and hitting the market first, and technology is enabling it. Physical boundaries will have physical places will have their boundaries, right? There is only a few things you can do. If you want to connect to exchange, you can be co-located with them, but there will be a wire, and you cannot cut short the length of a wire beyond a certain point. Let's say you cannot cut short more than, let's say, 5 feet because of exchange requirement. and what makes you faster after that is what technology you're using. So I believe, I firmly am a believer of technology, and I believe that technology enables business. Yeah, I think to start with, you need to be curious, right, about things, why the nature is, and once you have the that curiosity to learn and achieve your ambition based on the certain things you want to achieve. I think organization like QuantInsti will have provides a lot of helping hand, right? For example, when I was curious and I was just randomly reading the books. Few things made sense, other things didn't make any sense, and I had no one to ask this. But QuantInsti was a platform where things were, I would say, direction was given to you in the way it should be. So that was gradual. Uh, uh, how to say this? There was, I would say, there was gradual direction given to us by QuantInsti, which enabled us channelized our energy and focus in that direction. Right? QuantInsti definitely helps you with. Um, the way the progress should be, the whole career progression should be done. Not career progression, the learning the progression should be done to start with Excel strategies, etc. So, if I have to give, I'm not a motivational speaker, unfortunately, but if I have to put two or three lines, I would say be curious, channelize your energy in a given direction, look for the direction from organization like McKinsey. That's the key. And if you want to achieve, then you need to put the hard yards, right? There is no easy way. So there would be a lot of learning to do. Just you need to find some time for your personal development as well, and put that energy to continue with this learning. And I'm sure, like it has happened to many greats, and it will happen to people who try hard enough to achieve their ambitions.